Hey everyone, this is Teri. Welcome back. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. If you're a return visitor, thank you so much. Leave us a comment. What I wanted to talk to you today about is something that can be life-changing for you and someone else. Stay tuned. Roll intro. You know, this is kind of a touchy subject with me, but I want to share something with you guys because it will mean the world to you and it will mean the world to someone else. This morning, like probably 95% of America, I woke up and opened my email and Facebook. When I did that, in my email account, I had an update from a blog that I follow where this couple is trying to adopt a baby, which really touches my heart because 6 of my children are adopted. Well, the baby was born and the birth parents decided to keep the baby. Out of experience, we've had that happen. Wow. Talk about feeling like you're hit by a truck. Here you are, you're trying to adopt a baby. You want a baby. You know you have what it takes to give a baby a wonderful life. And you're right there on the cusp. And the rug's pulled out from under you. Scenario 1. Scenario 2. I've had a friend for I probably met them in 2005 or 6, so that's been what, 12, 13 years. His wife has been in the hospital with an end-stage liver situation, and I have his updates set so that they're the first things I see when I open my Facebook. And the first thing I saw when I opened Facebook today, okay, so I've already been rocked by this couple losing this baby because I know that pain. When I read the post, this is paraphrased, and I'm not going to use his wife's name, but it said something to the effect, and this is Pacific Standard Time, that she had taken her last breath at 9:05 this morning. That was just minutes before I opened my email or my Facebook. Okay, so let me tell you our situation and how I know how much these words can help someone. We've adopted 6 kids. We adopted our first baby, absolutely no problem. Our second baby was going to be a little girl. We had her named. The birth mother went into labor. We were at the hospital. We were waiting with the adoption coordinator. And then came in 2 people, and this is not their situation, this was our situation, that were so drunk they couldn't stand up. I didn't know who they were. It turns out they were her mother and stepfather. They took custody of the baby. We lost that baby. It gets even worse. We found out later that the stepdad was the father of the baby. So not only did we get a kick to the gut, we got a realization of what this girl had gone through, why she had been so secretive about her pregnancy. People avoided us. They didn't know what to say. Here we are, our hearts are broken, and they avoided us. That would have been in 1993. But it's still raw, it's still fresh with me. The feeling is still there if I think about it. Now let's fast forward to 2004. We've adopted 6 kids. I had 2 kids, which was 8 that we were raising. We were still in the foster care system. My husband has 3 kids. Life was busy. My daughter, our daughter, who had gone through a lot of trauma in her life, got married and had a baby boy. When she was at our house, well, they moved in with us when Isaiah was born because it would be easier for her. She has a birth defect and it was very difficult for her. Lots of surgeries. Anyway, a few days after Isaiah was born, I started telling her, there's something wrong with this baby. Oh, no, there's not. There's something wrong with this baby. And she took him from doctor to doctor to doctor. They just told us he was a sleeping newborn. There was nothing for us to worry about. They were wrong. A few days later, his pediatrician saw him in the midst of a seizure, and they admitted him to one of the best children's hospitals around. Our grandson was diagnosed with herpes. We didn't realize herpes was something that could harm a newborn. We didn't realize if you have a cold sore and you kiss a newborn, you can transmit the virus to the baby. Well, my daughter's ex-husband had herpes. My daughter contracted it and she never tested positive for herpes. She had these symptoms that were really weird when she was pregnant with Isaiah, and now we know that they were signs of active herpes in her body. The type that she contracted it's a different form, I guess. I'm not real sure. It seems like it's more blood-borne. So she doesn't really get outward symptoms. Well, when Isaiah was diagnosed, the consensus was, since he declined so rapidly, each day the CAT scan was so much different than the last. He had herpes encephalitis, which basically, for lack of better terms, the herpes virus liquefied his brain. There was nothing left but the brainstem for vital functions. He was breathing fine. He couldn't swallow. He couldn't eat. He could cry. He could feel heat. He could feel cold. He was blind. He was deaf. He was in hospice care, and we knew he was going to die. We had friends at the time that we thought were very, very close to us that never came by, never said a word, never really acknowledged that Isaiah was sick or that we were going to lose him. That stung. That was hard. We had people from the hospital that we had met that became dear, dear friends that came over and sat with us. We had other people that came and sat with us, people that we really didn't know. While the people that we knew best, they were a no-show. And you can't fault them. And this is why. When we face situations like that someone else is going through, a death, the heartbreak of a fallen adoption, anything like that, any sort of a tragedy, we're at a loss for words, because I think it's human nature to say in our hearts, I think we have good intentions and we don't want to trigger anything for those people. However, what my friends are going through, they need you. They need your support. And I understand it's really hard to know what to say, but there are 2 words, actually a few more, but there are 2 vital words that you can use in those times that will make a huge impact on their life. Those words are, I'm sorry, and mean it. You can elaborate, I don't know what you're going through. I haven't been through this. I'm sorry you're going through this. I'm sorry. When my grandson died, there was actually a couple, they're neighbors of ours, that said, oh, we're not coming to the funeral because we just can't do that with the baby. Can you say true colors? They're protecting themselves, but you know, my daughter needed support. She had support. She had a great support team. Be careful what you say. And for those of you going through tragedy, remember there are a lot of times, and I'm guilty of this, I talk a lot. There are a lot of times people don't know what to say. They end up saying way too much that they don't mean to say, and they end up feeling like a fool. And you end up thinking, what the heck were they thinking? Well, you know what they were thinking? They were only trying to comfort you, and they didn't know what else to say. That's why I have learned in times of tragic events when you're at a loss for words, the best thing to do, show up, show your face. If you can. I know there are times when people don't want anyone around. Respect that. We're not the type, with my friend that lost his wife this morning, to start blowing up his phone, texting, because he's in a state of shock. He's on autopilot right now, which I know all too well from losing my grandson, my mom, and my dad. But I could message him, and I did, on his Facebook. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. When I see him, I will hug him and I will tell him again, I am so sorry. So when people are going through hard times and you don't know what to say and you're uncomfortable, get out of your box, go over to them. Even if you pick a flower you see along the way, you knock on their door and you say, I brought this, I found it on my way, I just wanted to hug you and tell you I'm sorry. Because that's something we understand. Because we also, that are in these situations, we're in shock. We can't take a lot of words. Frankly, we're not going to remember them. We will remember, I'm sorry. We will remember who was there. We will remember who wasn't there. We need to remember, many times people don't know what to say and they disappear. We need to remember when people say really stupid things, which I'm guilty of, it's because we don't know what else to say, and sometimes our words just run. But if you're in that situation, remember 3 things. 1, show your face when it's appropriate. Let them know you're available. In 2 words, I'm sorry. I know this wasn't your typical Teri's on video, but as you know, I'm stuck in bed. We don't want to go into that. But it just really struck me, and I really felt compelled to let you know. There's a lot of tragedy in this world. A lot of people are affected, and we don't know what to say, and we back out. Say you're sorry. Let them know you're there for them. Let them know you love them. With that, I'm going to say peace out. Have an incredible afternoon. I think this is Wednesday, so have a great rest of the week. I'll see you soon.